Getting bigger.
Why are you laughing at my terrified face?
No, I said my cheeks are getting bigger. So, everyone, we're live, and welcome to yet another edition of Unplugged. And today we have the most beautiful and elegant Amayo Duke II of Southern Panther. Now, guys, listen, I am extremely proud and happy to be having this conversation with Amayo because she's an Efik girl, just like I am, you know, and she's doing such great stuff. And she is so young. I'm not going to tell you how young she is, but she is so young and she's so gifted. You know that Nina Simone song, Young, Gifted, and Black? That describes this young lady right here. And we've had a whole series of Transformers, the Creative Enterprise series this August. And so far, we've had someone talk to us about, we've had people along the different age gradients and in different zones. We've had someone from Lagos, someone from Port Harcourt, and now we have someone from Calabar. And next week, we are coming to you from Washington. So watch out for that. But meanwhile, Amayo, welcome. Welcome to Unplugged.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, guys, just make Amayo feel welcome. I don't know why she's acting like she's shy, but I know she's not shy. Because when we were talking one-on-one 2 days ago, we couldn't stop talking, and let's just go to your place.
I'll warm into it. I'll warm into it.
You're warm into it.
I just have nerves, so
it's okay, just pretend that I'm the only person you're seeing. And that's literally, okay. I'm the only person you're seeing right now.
Yes.
Okay, so that's all that matters. So tell us about your journey from filmmaking, sound design to handcraft. How it sounds like a very interesting journey. I can see the links, but
I would say that I have always been like hands-on in things. Like I'm always ready to open something up. I'm always ready to put things together. So even when I was a kid, I would go through my grandmother's trunk box, you know, old Efik woman with trunk boxes, and you know, yes. I would like see bits of jewelry and things like that. I would put things together. Like I've always, my mom is a designer, a fashion designer, and I would sometimes go and I would make clothes for my dolls. I would make clothes for my dogs as well. I was that kid who was in everything. My hands were in everything. So I chose filmmaking as my like educational career, like that's what I wanted to do as a career. I didn't think I would ever go into like jewelry making. I had this really short course when I was younger, like it couldn't have been more than 7 weeks, you know, just like basics, like, oh, this is how you string a necklace, you know. And then I left to go study in the UK for years and, you know, never really touched jewelry making. But then I came back to Nigeria in 2014 and I did NYSC. And while I was doing NYSC in 2015, I just like chokers were really in at the time. I don't know if you remember, beaded chokers had come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, those chokers from the 90s had sort of cycled back in. So I had these beads.
Yeah, you're now trying to make me look old. They're from the 80s.
Exactly. I remember when they were really popular as well. So yes. They had come back in and I had just made a choker for myself and for one friend. And she was like, you should sell these. And I was just like, how? Like, what do you mean? So that's how the business literally started from 15 chokers. She liked the design so much, and she was in University of Calabar. So she told her friends, and that's literally how the business. Oops, sorry. That's literally how the business started. Okay. It was literally started from 15 chokers. And I didn't take it seriously at all. Like I was just like, okay, well, I'll just finish these set of beads and that'll be it. And we're still here 5 years later.
But chokers are making a comeback.
Yeah, I mean they never really left since then. It's just people also got a bit tired of them, but they were really in at the moment at that time. Yeah.
Yes, yes, they are. What happened to the filmmaking part of your life?
Okay, so I did a film. I worked on a Nigerian film set, and then I had to sort of reevaluate what I wanted to do. So that's what it is. So I'm only just getting back into filmmaking this year, and I had so many plans, and then COVID-19 came. And all the plans had to go on pause, you know. So I'm basically working on scripts and hopefully from next year, but I really wanted to shoot this year. So I did a feature film, and then I realized that maybe not unfortunately, but if you want to make a certain kind of film, you almost have to write and produce it yourself. You know, like if not, because I'm a sound designer, I'm not a director, and I'm not a screenwriter by career. So you end up being called onto film sets where things have already been decided, the story, the casting, everything. And it's like, if you want to do what you're interested in, you have to write it, you have to produce it, you might even have to direct it. So that's, I took time off because I needed to reevaluate if I was capable of doing any of that, and if I could. Yeah. So I am still working on film stuff, but obviously not as actively because I've been working on something like that, and now COVID-19 means that everything has slowed down. This year is a cancelled year, apparently.
It's not a cancelled year. It's an incubation year.
Yeah, okay, yes. I like that better. It's an incubation year. I prefer that, yes. It's an incubation year.
Yeah. Okay, so good to know that you're going to go back to film. What's sound design exactly?
Sound design is basically everything to do with sound post-production. So like when the film is shot,
okay,
and it's edited, then it's given to a sound designer who then, you know, edits the sound, you know, designs new sounds if they have to, mixes the levels. So it's like editing but sound. So it's not picture editing, it's sound editing. That's sound design. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys you'd put in all those creepy music and sound effects for horror movies.
Yes,
right?
Yes, we are. Okay. But it's funny because I also do location recording. So I also work on location, and then I also do sound design. So yeah, it's a very massive department under sound designer, like so many other departments. But yeah, we are the sound effects people. Yes.
Yeah. Good to know. Good to know. So what I'm looking at all these things, and I know they all tie together, but I'd like to know what has fed your curiosity and drive as you keep exploring these different creative expressions. You know, what has fed your curiosity?
I think that I have a tendency to deconstruct things. So lots of times I will look at something and ask myself if I can do it. So I will look at a bag, or I will look at almost anything. Like I will listen to something, I will look at a YouTube video and ask myself if I can do that. So I will look at a bag and I will try to figure out how they made it. So I think lots of times I'm deconstructing things, and so out of that curiosity, I then go on to do them. So it's almost like a compulsion. So if I see a bag and I like the design, and I'm like, can I do it? Before I know it, I'm doing it. Like, it's like before I know it, I've gotten fabric together, I'm sewing, you know. I almost can't stop until it's done. You know, it's a problem. It's a blessing and a curse. Yes, let's just put it like that.
It's not a problem. We have our very first guest on this show is Lara Cookie, and she's here. And I think she'd agree with me that I mean, we were talking recently, and she told me that she was just looking at some cracks on the wall in her house, and she's an artist. She's an interior architect. She designs everything, you know, and she makes the most amazing captain silks, stuff, beautiful scarves, shawls, everything. She can tell her story. She's right here, you know. You can check her out too. And she said she just saw the cracks, and then she just, I can't remember what she drew around them, but she felt compelled to draw something around it to make it look beautiful. You know, I guess that's the kind of compulsion that you're talking about.
Yes. I'm only saying it's a curse also because sometimes I can't sleep. Like I will be I will have an internal monologue where it's like, okay, it's 4 a.m. You should probably say, and I'm still going, and I'll be like, okay, one more line, and then before you know it, the bag is finished, and it's 7 a.m. and that's when I'm going to bed. So, yeah, no, I definitely understand it's a compulsion. You know, I follow it lots of times. I will follow it in the sense that I can get up and cut a dress. You know, like if I'm wearing something and I'm like, oh, there's a style, like I start there's almost no hesitation, which is funny because I only have that compulsion when it comes to fashion and what I do with Southern Panther. As soon as it is filmmaking, I don't jump in like that, which is something I'm working on because I think I need to transfer that energy. So I'm more thoughtful. I will hesitate. I will doubt myself more when it comes to filmmaking. But when it's Southern Panther, no, if there's something I want to do, I'm doing it immediately. I've already spoken to 6 people about it.
Well, Lara agrees with you. She says it's a compulsion.
Yes, oh, I can see the comment. Yeah, it really is a compulsion. It is like.
Yeah. But you know, I think it's something. Hey, Jerry. Hi. How you doing? Okay, well, there's a very interesting comment here from my brother Tony Achibong, and he says sound design, interesting recording of our good old sound effects. Well, you know, Tony, this is a Transformer series. Everything is transformed. every single thing is transformed. You know, yes. So you started this journey at 10 plus. You said.
No, I was saying 10 plus years later after the initial course, the initial show.
Yes. When you started this journey?
Southern Panther?
No, this journey of creative. When you knew, how did you know?
Oh, was it from? I mean, I never actually knew. Let's just say it was always there because I have creative parents, so they were always going to allow me do whatever nonsense. Like, let's say, whatever I got into, they were always going to allow me do that as long as I wasn't burning the house down, right? So I've literally been doing this since I could walk. Like I would say, when I started making toys, clothes for my toys and my dogs. I must have been in primary school at the time, so it's something I've always done. I think my family in general, we've always been encouraged to do whatever. You know, there's so many things like. I might want to do that my parents might be hesitant about, but like as soon as it is anything creative, yeah, no, they're even more hyped than you are. So like you just mentioned briefly, oh, I was thinking about, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe going to fashion school, and my father is already looking at schools. Like, you know, like they're so much faster than you, and you're just like, okay, no, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure.
Thinking. But it must be great to have some support. It must be great.
Yeah, no, definitely. My friends always say, and that's the one thing I'm happy about, that at least my parents, because I don't know how many people's parents would have sent them to film school. But then my parents studied theater arts, so I guess in a way it was full circle.
Natural progression.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your end game? What's your end game? All these
I've been thinking about that a lot this year. And initially, when I started the business and I started to take it seriously, right? Because in the beginning, people always told me, don't forget, this is just a side hustle, you know, because I had just come from film school. So they were like, don't forget, this is just a side hustle. Don't forget your main hustle, which is funny because Southern Panther is the business that has sustained me for the past 5 years. So I can't really call it a side hustle, you know. But I would say,
Sorry, I love your name too. I had a friend called Asari when I was growing up. Yeah, I love all this. I love all this authentic Efik names.
Yes, that's one of my friends.
My Efik name is Yang. Yeah.
Who is awake at this time? Thank God. Asari, hi.
Hi, Asari. Thank you for being awake.
Initially, I wanted to just go as big as I could. I wanted people to know the brand. I want celebrities to wear the products. Like I wanted exposure. That's what it was. I wanted people to know. I want exposure. That was the goal for the brand, right? Okay. But now I just want to make things that I like, if that makes sense. So if I do this for the next 10 years and I never get like massive exposure. That's fine for me, because I'm realizing that at some point I was looking at the things I was making and I couldn't even wear some, like I had no interest. And I was like, what am I doing? You know, I'm just like, what am I doing? I am the one person doing all of this. Like it's just me. I don't have an assistant. And if I spend hours and hours of my time and I make things and I can't even wear my own things, I'm not happy with some of it, then it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm just like, this thing I'm chasing, where, you know, it was almost like I was hopping on trends. So if someone said, oh, anklets are in, waist beads are in, I would just hop on them immediately. And like, you know, and I can't, it's not sustainable. So now I do things I'm interested in, things I like, and hopefully there'll be people who like them as well, people who are interested in getting. But if not, I'm happy. Like if after 2 years pass, nobody buys any of my things, I'm happy to wear them myself and carry them around. But yeah, because I'm inspired a lot, like by the people around me. I'm inspired by Nigeria. I'm also inspired by Efik culture, and I'm like, if I make these things and people can't appreciate them, then that's fine. Like I don't want to just make things that everybody else is doing just because I know that I can make some money. So I think my goal for the brand now is to do things I'm happy with, and hopefully to reach the market, because there is a market, right? It's all about reaching that market that also is interested in the things you're interested in. So yeah, I'm still going for exposure because I want the business to grow, but like it's not as it's not as self-serving, like it's not as capitalist. Yes, the goal is not as capitalist as it was before. Yeah.
Wait until I get my hands on you. Because I just don't believe in this starving artist at all. I don't believe in this creative. Not
That's why I'm trying to do film things, because I'm just like, if I'm starving on certain part, at least let me be doing something else that's also making me survive. But
you can thrive on all.
Yeah, no, I definitely think I can, but I guess it's more of a mental approach. The way I approach it is, if I'm not happy with the design, if it's not something I would wear personally, I don't want to make it. I don't want to mass produce it. There are a couple of pieces that I would never even wear now, and it's not because they're dated or they're no longer in fashion. It's literally because I have no interest in them, and I didn't have any interest in them when I was making them to begin with. So it's a mental, like mentally, I'm in a different direction where it's more important to me that I have a connection to everything I'm making. Yeah.
So you have to be happy with it.
Yes.
And then you send it out with all that love and joy.
Yes,
to the world.
you know, and yeah, I think initially I used to say this in the beginning as well, but people would always tell me, you can't make what you like, you have to make what your customers like, if not you won't sell anything. And I'm just like, so I went down that road where I was just making. So if someone said, oh, there's this kind of choker I'm interested in, like, because Nigerians are very forward, like they will send you pictures of exactly what they want, even though that's not what you do at all. You know, and they will ask you with all the confidence, like, can you, they're not asking per se, they're telling you, so can you do this, you know? So I would go down that route. I would do things for people, and I was just like, oh God, there's a reason, and there's almost nothing they will show you that you've not already seen, because it's your business. Yeah. So you are constantly researching, you're looking at trends, you're looking at all kinds of things. So there's a reason why you didn't want to do it in the first place. But absolutely, because somebody's ready to give you money, you do it, you know, and I'm just not doing, like, I can't be that person anymore. It doesn't make sense to me anymore.
You know, I'm trying to think of the name of this Japanese designer. Is it Yoji Yamamoto? I'm not sure. You know, but he always did things that looked like accordions and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it didn't really matter to him whether people liked it. You know, but he liked it, and people aligned. People aligned. I can't remember if that's his name. I think it's Yoji Yamamoto. I'm not too sure. Okay. Somebody, Tonya Chibo is going to kill me with Efik things. Amayo, a very rare outstanding Efik name. What informed your creative display of your graduation outfit on your with the staff out there in Europe? My goodness, it's not some research on you. Now, please, spill the tea on this one. What was that about?
That was my youngest. Okay,
your younger sister.
Yeah, that was my younger sister, right? She graduated in she graduated in the US, and she was very determined to wear an oyoyo. I don't know, the pictures are out there. She wore an oyoyo with the staff and the hair combs. I loved it. Like, I actually was annoyed that I didn't think about it. That's what annoyed me more than anything. I was upset that I didn't think about it because I was done graduating. Like, I was not going back to school. But like, so yeah, we can be very much like that in my family. Like, it's not every day we wear things like that, but like important occasions, like our culture is really important to us. So
you can be extra. You can be extra.
Yes. No. When I say she went on stage, you know how you shake the dean and you collect the certificate? She went on stage with that stuff. It's actually a bit ridiculous, but she made waves. And then she further on went out for dinner in the full outfit without the staff, and like people were trying to take pictures with her. People were so fascinated. I was just like,
That's so cool.
Yeah, I really think it's cool too. I always said that if I'm ever on an international red carpet, I would do the same thing. I really would. Like, I don't see what the point would be.
The hair with the brass combs and I think it's so beautiful. I think it's so unfair that if you're not an Adia, you get the short one. You know.
Honestly, I don't know about that so much anymore because they sell them now. You can buy them and you can rent, you know, because we had to rent for her graduation because, you know, my parents took it from here over to her. So I don't think that they don't care. Like, it's a business for them now. So if you want to, whatever you want to wear, then nobody's going to culturally question you and be like, so are you the first daughter? So, yeah.
Okay, so why are there 3 R's?
Okay. Southern Panther in general has a very cat theme to it, and because you know there are leopards. I was thinking about like how I read the bottled leopard, and just like how there used to be leopards here. There's Leopard Town, so I was like, okay, well there are lots of cats in like mythology. Even Ekpe is almost spotted like a leopard sometimes. So I was like, okay, so we're from the south, so that's where the southern comes from. And then we're Black people, and there are lots of cats in our mythology. So we're Black cats, aka panthers, and so that's why it came from. And the 3 R's, and then it's 3 R's because I just wanted like a little bit of like added fierceness in there. Also, Southern Panther is already exactly. That's almost like 3 claw marks. Yes. So there's a lot of thought into it. I don't always go into detail about it, but yeah, there's a lot of thought into the name. I remember the session of when we're all sitting down, because it was me, my sister, and I think Asari was there, my friend Asari, and like another friend, and we're just like throwing names around. And I really wanted to go for Sunday's Best, and no one liked it.
Oh my God, we're not doing it. Thank God, we're not.
And they were like, "What is Sunday's Best?" I was like, "Well, I was born on a Sunday." And and they hated it immediately. If not for them, I really would have gone for Sunday's Best. So Southern Panther is all thanks to them, because I just started thinking about it. I was like, okay, well, let me dig a little deeper. And as soon as I said Southern Panther, everybody was like, yes, that's the one. Yeah. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we love the 3 R's. We love it. So who buys the things you make?
Okay, it's my demographic has actually changed. Initially, like I said, I had this one friend, Mary Karen, who really pushed it to her friends because she was in Unical at the time. So it was a lot of university students. And also I was making very young pieces, like chokers, beaded chokers. Like there weren't a lot of older people trying to buy that. So it was very much early 20s.
You don't have the neck.
I just think like Nigerians at a certain age are not really interested in costume jewelry unless it is extravagant. You know, like there's just like, you know, they reach an age and they're just like, no, this is. So I would literally go for small exhibitions or fairs, and they would be like, oh, this is for children. You know, like I was instantly dismissed. So yes, my initial, like for the first 3 years was very much younger people, university students. And then as I started making bags, because I started making small totes, and then I started making more complicated. Like I started getting better at sewing, so I started making more complicated bags. Then my mom's friends, so I would say the 40 to 50 age range, yes. So people started buying from me, and then I started making bracelets. I started making more complex looking things or more mature looking things. Let me go with that. So I still have younger people buying my stuff, but I now have like a few people who are in my mom's age range or like in their 40s, 30s that buy my things too. Now,
because there's a youthful yet mature vibe about what you do. Yes,
I mean that's I actually I can't even say I intentionally went for that, but I think that might be my aesthetic. So I can wear anything, but I do like to make things that are, well, I don't want to say classy because it then says everything else is not, right? But yes, classic. Let's go with classic.
And classic, yeah, classic.
Yes.
So then could you take off one of your earrings and show us, because we were talking about those pieces? Yeah. Just
okay. So
yeah.
Let me try and do this properly, like a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is
a
brass
you know what
piece.
That is? I wonder if they know what they You guys know what that is? I would love to
see if somebody can guess. Somebody besides Asari, because I think Asari might already know what that is. So Asari is not allowed to guess.
Does anybody know what that is? You might get a free one if you guess right. You get a free one, just see JJC, if you guess right. What that symbol is.
Nobody.
She got it! She got it! Yes, Lara got it. That's a fair. Lara, I'm not even sure that's fair because you're a fellow creative.
Yeah, no, she would know.
Yeah, Tony, she actually does have a few things that she would show, which she'll show a little later. She has a few pieces. So she says, Tony says it's a bowl. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you're right, but you came a bit late.
So yeah, it is Manila. Lots of younger people don't know what that is. Also, let me be fair, I didn't know what it was until my mother told me what it was. A couple of years ago when I was looking for very Efik motifs, because I did a couple of velvet chokers, but with Efik beading. You know how we do our beaded shoes and things like that? Yes, so I did chokers that had Efik beading on them. So I was looking for like very obvious Efik motifs, so like peacock feathers, things like that. And my mother was like, "Oh, why don't you do Manila?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know what that is." And then she told me. So yes, Manila is the currency we used to use actually throughout West Africa before we were colonized, and even during colonization. But yeah, so these are brass earrings that I am making. They're still with the guy in Benin City. So I commissioned a man in Benin City to make them for me. So we modeled and molded them here, and then we sent the molds off to him, and he's making a couple of them. So there's a crocodile, there's a snake, there's a tortoise. So very in CBD, like, even my mom, she's like, "Why is there a snake?" I said, "Well, I'm going for a theme here." And then there's some other things, like there's a periwinkle, there's a hibiscus, just some things that I grew up seeing and being around. So there's Manila as well. So it's going to be like earrings, it's going to be necklace pendants. So that's something I'm testing out, these earrings. So I just made them. I have to do like a process of quality control where I just wear things around and make sure that things don't fall off in certain situations.
Okay.
We used to do for bracelets, whenever people would come to me in person, like as an exhibition or something, we would always do all rings. I used to do rings at some point. We would always do a shake test. So you'd wear a ring a size, because Nigerians don't know their sizes, and I would be like, okay, so just go like this, and if it flies off, then you need a smaller size. So yeah, there's always a period where I have to wear things for quality control to make sure things don't snap, things don't fall off, you know. So that's the earrings are not ready. Hopefully they'll be ready by September, October. But yeah, that's what these are.
Well, we definitely have one piece going to Lara Cookie because we promised her. So
yes,
you made your first sale without it being on the market from the prototype. So that's cool. That's cool. So tell me, why are you so inspired by the Efik culture? Because where's the point of transformation?
I always have been. I was telling you the story about my name earlier on, but you know, I said my grandmother was named Amayo, and I think there's always been a strong connection between the two of us. So like when she was still alive, you know, she died when I was young. I think she died when I was in primary school. So whenever I was always happy to see her. She would always come around, you know, and she was very much an Efik lady, you know. So I was always fascinated by the things I would see in her box of clothes after she passed away. I was always fascinated by the things she wore, her pictures, you know. And also, like, almost everything I do is because of slight memories of things she used to do, or just like other Efik women that I see, right? Because my friend Asari and I, we're always talking about how our goal is to be those Efik women who just dress up and sit down and fan themselves and are snobbish, you know. We want to be those older Efik ladies, Asari especially, like that's her goal in life. So even the hand fans I did, exactly, the hand fans I did, I remember seeing her with hand fans. That's where the inspiration for that came. But I've always been very much into my culture. I remember this one time in secondary school, I've always been into traditional dance as well, cultural dance. They were teaching, there was an Ekombi an Ekombi sequence we had to learn for a an event, right? The school was having an event, maybe like Founders Day or something. So we had to learn this Ekombi, and I could not get the dance. Like I couldn't. And you know, the teacher was picking people. So we all came together and she taught us the dance, and then she was picking the best people, and I didn't get picked, right? Oh, the way I cried. I cried. It was almost like people were so shocked because it was just like, okay, but like it's just a dance. But I cried so much that she was like, okay, you can dance. Like I really was not the best. I obviously was not getting it, but like she was so alarmed. She was so alarmed at how disturbed I was that I wasn't going to dance, that but I knew I wasn't good. So I was like, no, it's fine. I'm just like expressing my disappointment. So yeah, I've always been interested in everything about the culture. I've always been fascinated by Ekwe. I've always been fascinated by masquerades. Like literally, it doesn't take anything. You know, back then, if you said cultural, before you even finish the sentence cultural dance, I was already there. I was like, yes, I'm ready. What are we? What's the costume? Like, start putting the dots on me. I'm ready.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah. We always did those things. Yeah. I always loved them. I didn't know what they meant. You know? And I also see that you do a lot of things with the mirror. You display a lot of some of your products with the mirror. And
yeah,
I don't know
something.
That's also
no, please tell me. I mean, there is. I know that I didn't know. Like, wow, I didn't think about it too deeply. But like, I am drawn. Like lately, I've been drawn to like similar pictures, and so I was like, well, I'd like to like almost like a world inside of a world, because you know you see the actual world and then you see a sky. So it's almost like the mirror is leading you into another place. You know, so yeah, I don't know if there is mythology behind that. You know, I always do things.
There's a whole cosmology around that. And
okay.
You see these women when the Anobong is being crowned and brought into the town, right? Aha. You know, and then have those women who dance with those mirrors, you know, and they're showing them, and they have all these things in Ndom inscribed on them, you know. So it's part of the Efik cosmology, definitely. It is. So
and I just did that without really thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yes. So
yes. Asari, I agree with you totally. Yes.
Yeah, I'm always discovering something new every time. I'm always discovering even the ridiculous things, like, you know, even the things that, you know, like I think someone had told me that anklets, like, you shouldn't wear anklets because they chain you to the spirit realm. Even things like that fascinate me. I don't know. I don't know why. Because obviously I don't necessarily believe it, but when I hear things like that, I'm just like, the things we come up with it. No, Efik culture is like, you can bring so many things out of it. You can go deep and deep, and like, if you even think about Manila is constantly being beaded on. The beaded vests that the men wear. I think they're called monkey jackets. Yes. Manila is all over that, and it's so weird. You go around, you see it, you don't really think about what that symbol is, right? So there are just so many things that I'm constantly learning from the culture. So yes, sorry, I agree also.
Yeah. Yes. So I was going to ask if you handcraft everything in Calabar, but obviously you don't.
Yeah, but most of it is.
Okay.
So I can literally tell you the two things that aren't. The hand fans are made in Kano.
Okay.
And then, even though that is probably going to change, because I'm now sourcing people who can do hand fans for me in Cross River, in Calabar. And obviously these brass pieces are done in Benin City. I honestly wanted to do them in Calabar because I met this artisan at this artist, let me call him that, at an exhibition, and he had some brass pieces, and so we started discussing, but then he was like, no, that the universities don't have like a proper workshop set up for that, so we would have to send it to Benin. So honestly, if there was a way I could do everything here, because it's just so much easier to quality control. You can physically go into the places, like traveling to Kano or Benin, it's not like the easiest thing, but if I was able to do everything here, then I would literally be in the workshop with them every day. As opposed to lots of times the hand fans, I will tell them the colors, they'll show me the references, so they'll show me the threads, they'll be like, are these the colors? I'll confirm, and then it's possible that I will not hear back from them for like 2 months. So there's a lot of like just waiting and being in a panic, and then in 2 months they'll be like, it's ready, and I will send it to you. So you almost don't even see and confirm also still, because you see something and you confirm, and then what they give you is also not exactly. So it's a it's a very stressful process. But yes, 99% of our things are made here by me also. So that's like a whole other struggle.
How are you going to expand that ecosystem? Because obviously you can't do it all by yourself.
Initially, it's so ridiculous. Initially, I used to be so concerned about people learning what I do and then taking it and making cheaper versions. I used to be so concerned about, but now I really don't care because I've been so stressed. So it's just like, if they're going to, and see, that's something I always say. Even if you take my designs and duplicate them, where I'm coming from mentally, you can't take my creativity. So it's not like those are the only designs I will ever come up with. So even if people copy them, it's fine. I will come up with better things, So
exactly.
Yeah, initially I was reluctant to train someone, but also, I felt really somehow about training someone but not being able to pay, like having someone helping me but not being able to pay them, because like in the beginning I wasn't making tons of money, right? And everything I was making was going back into the business. So I was really wary about, because in Calabar you will find someone who just comes and learns. They won't even necessarily expect you to pay. But I was really worried about paying. I was like, I have to pay if they're going to do, because I'm stressed by the work I do and I want to get paid. I can't expect someone to be helping me and not get paid. So yes, I have been in touch with Pamela. Actually, I'm just reading a comment from TJ.
Yes.
So now I would like to train someone. I would like to get an assistant of some sort, even if it's not necessarily someone helping me make the things, someone to help me with social media. I cannot do both. I'm doing everything. I make the pieces, I take the pictures, I edit them. I'm the one doing the social media. It is crazy. I'm the one actually physically going to the post office for deliveries. Like it is a bit ridiculous. Like, I would like to train people. I would like to have people helping me, definitely. But what I'm doing is, last year it was one of my goals, so I saved up. But then Corona came. And as much as people really didn't buy during the Corona period, which it was fair enough, right? Post offices were not even working, so like there wasn't really any way to send things even. I had saved up money to possibly hire an assistant, but then there were still things I was trying to do, like these brass pieces, and I still needed to pay the, so then that money, no money was coming in. But yeah, I definitely want to, one of my goals this year is to get someone to help me, an assistant of some sort. I won't necessarily say, people are always asking me, can you teach? Can you teach? I am not a good teacher. I don't think I have patience to teach people.
Yeah, but in the field you're in, which is a creative field, there is a very thriving tradition of apprenticeship. And what they do is they watch. And you take the best.
I think I can do that. I think I can do that. But people early on, when I say early on, I mean like in the second year or even third year, when they would come to see my things at exhibitions, would say, oh, do you do training? Like you should run. It was almost like a business of its own. You should run courses, like you should. And I don't have the patience.
But that's going to take you away from your...
I know. I was just like, first of all, I don't even know where I am as a designer that I would feel the authority to be teaching anybody anything, like really. And then second of all, I just felt like I'm not a good teacher. I know that much. Like if there's someone I'm training to do something a one-on-one, I probably could do that. But I get impatient because there's a way my brain picks things up. Like if I see, like I said, I'm always deconstructing things. So I'm able to piece things together quite quickly. And it's something I'm working on, but I don't have a lot of patience with someone who you need to show every single thing. And that's the problem, right? Because if you start teaching people, there are some people who it does not come naturally to, and you're just frustrated, they're frustrated. I'm just like, and they paid you, so you have to do it.
Then you let them go. You let them go.
Yeah,
no, truly, you let them go. But then you'll just look at the people, because when I was thinking about your work, and I've been reading a lot about the creative economy. I think it's also called the orange economy. I don't know why. I can only say it's because it's vibrant and there you go with your fan, right?
It's a bit hot in my room.
And I think about things like Broadway. I think about what happens in China. I think about Fifth Avenue. I think about the Garment District in New York. I think about Savile Row in America, Tiffany's, Swarovski. I mean, why would we not have a Southern Panther that has that kind of name, like Swarovski, like Tiffany? Sorry, you have to stop fanning. I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
It's messing with my microphone. I'm sorry. Yes, it's okay. Yes. I thought as much, but I was hoping I would get away with it.
Sorry, I know you got lights on yours, so it gets
yeah,
really
there's
hot.
A light there. Yeah. It's just yeah, but it's okay. Yeah. I'll manage.
I can see you're glowing. You're glowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
my oily skin is a lot of things.
I mean, I'm really thinking, and this is me. I like to look at people's visions and see how far can it go. Because you are so passionate about this, and I'm just wondering how far can it go? How far do you want to take it? I mean, why can't this be a brand name? Southern Panther.
I mean, if that happened, that would be nice, right? I mean, I feel like I would have to be around for a bit longer. But yes, that would be nice if I could become that international brand. I mean, that is a goal, but it's not like, if it doesn't happen, I will be fine. But I think the bigger goal for me is, even with the hand fans, I always say when I came back to Nigeria in 2014, people were not using hand fans. And I mean, not to sound obnoxious, but I really think that I revitalized the hand fan, not industry, the hand fan carrying, at least in Calabar, because then I saw more people carrying hand fans to school,
Can we just see it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You have to do it like the YouTube video. Like QVC. And this is a lovely hand fan it's now off the screen. Okay, you also use it as a chain. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So what I did was I started making them with key chains. Let's just go with that, with clips, right? So you could just easily clip them to your bag. right? So you could carry them around. Because I remember, like, when I came back, I remember I asked, oh, where can I buy the fans, right? And they're like, oh, have to find a malam, you know, or go to the market. And they weren't as around as when I was younger. Like, they weren't all over the place like that. So I was just like, why? This is so... And I was so worried. I was like, this is how industries disappear in this country, right? Because all that you would see were the Oriental style fans, the folding ones, and then you would see these classic ones that people sort of print on for their occasions,
for funerals and stuff.
Yes, exactly. And I was just like, oh my God, but we make fans, you know. And I was just like, this is how 20 years from now, nobody will know where they make those fans. Nobody will know how to make them. So I almost panicked, and I was like,
bring that. I'm going to show you something.
Okay. I panicked, and I was like, okay, I need to make these fans.
Okay.
Yeah. I usually, yes, okay, yes. I see them hanging in people's houses, and then they usually have peacock feathers. Yes.
Yeah. Right. I don't know why my parents gave me this, but they gave me this. I'm looking at the year on it, and it wasn't the year I did anything particular. But but they gave me this, and I also got one when I got married. So it's like a commemorative thing, and I love the chewing sticks. I think they call it imata. Imata, I think so. Jerry, you're here. Because one of those the chewing sticks. I'm not even sure my daughter knows anything about them.
I don't even see them anymore. I don't see them around. But then perhaps I'm not looking in the right place. You see, I remember these growing up, but I have not been seeing them.
Yeah. Yes. I cherish them. Yeah. I really love them. And look at it, it's just so, it's hand carved.
Yeah.
You know, with all the irregularities.
Yeah, so these are the traditional.
So that's me, Efik
girl. That are like, I was so panicky about the hand fans because I was like, this is how they will disappear. And I remember when because I was still going in and out of the country, so I would carry the hand fans with me because as you can see, I was just getting hot. Like sometimes if you're walking to the train in London, you work up as well, especially if it's winter and you're wearing a coat and you're running to catch the train. So I remember when I was like going through immigration to go out of the country, and they were laughing at me. They were like, "Oh, you're carrying hand fans, you know, it was like a funny thing, almost like, oh my God, this is so ridiculous." And I was just like, you people are so, I cannot believe that you people don't even take your own craft seriously, because these are the kinds of things these are the kinds of things that companies in those ethnic companies in like Australia, the UK, US, they'll come and pack all these hand fans, and then they'll be selling them like £50, you know, and they'll call them African wall hanging or African, you know, and I'm just like, you people don't even take your own thing seriously. So the hand fans, I definitely feel like once I started selling them with Southern Panther, more people, even if they couldn't afford mine, right? Because mine was specially commissioned and they were monochrome. They were not the usual color mix. So even if they couldn't afford mine, people started going out and buying more. And so more people started carrying hand fans around. So I think that's my overall goal, is to not let certain things die. Because like we're making brass in Benin City. Like there are artisans that do stuff like that. But a lot of what they do is like statues and bigger things. They commission bigger things. Like
big pieces.
Yeah. We're not really doing jewelry as much, you know. So I mean they'll do like pendants, usually masculine things, right? Pendants for like the Mask of Ife. They'll do things like that, you know. But yeah, these are things that I think we will slowly lose if we don't take seriously. So I think my bigger goal is to remind people of what we do, remind people that there are courses, right, in our universities, meaning that there are people learning and there are people who are doing it, but like they're not there, you know. The bigger jewelry designers are doing very contemporary things, you know, like some of our local techniques are getting lost, I think. So yeah, I think that's my bigger goal, to remind people and to remind people to instill a sense of pride, I guess, in the things we do traditionally, our own things, you know. I'm learning new techniques myself, but I also really, more than anything, my goal is not to learn more. My goal is not to, amass as many skills and keep the money to myself. My goal is actually to be able to employ all the people who already do the things, all the people who already are passing it on in their families. Yeah. So that's my bigger goal, more than even just being a massive brand. Like if somebody else comes and takes what I'm doing, like so like Efik beading, right? So I've done a series of chokers with the Efik beading, and someone else discovers Efik beading. And if they do a whole brand around Efik beading, and if they hire all these people, and if they get even bigger than me, that's fine. Like that's even good, because like my goal is not necessarily for my goal is not necessarily for me as a brand. It's not for Southern Panther as a brand. It's actually for our skills, for our techniques, the things that make us, I guess, Nigerian, because Efik beading is such an epic thing, right? And it's if we lose that, then that's like a whole other culture. We already lost so much in colonization, right? So this would be like lose all these other skills as well, because I'm pretty sure we also did, the brass combs, we do them locally as well, but then there are also machine cut ones. And if you start leaning towards machine cut ones, which are neater, they don't like, literally my sisters one, as they were sewing them onto the hair, was cutting them because the edges were sharp, but like the machine cut ones are not as sharp. But then obviously if you start going towards machine cut ones, what happens to the local people who are doing them, right?
Exactly. So, all the artisans, you're going to lose them.
Yeah. So my vision, that's my vision. Like I'm not necessarily concerned about whether Southern Panther blows as a brand or not. Like I actually want people to do what I do. Right. So what I'm doing, like if I go and say I'm working with people in Benin, I want more people to work with people in Benin. I want more people to work with people in Calabar. Like that's the main goal. I want more people to hire the people in Kano to make fans,
Okay.
Yeah, that is the goal.
Well, I keep saying that for us in Julia Jackson Consulting, what we want to do is to ensure that whatever enterprise people do, they can scale up from micro to small to medium, and then do what you need to do. And I find your vision very interesting, because you really do want to bake a bigger pie. You understand, so to speak. You really want to, and you don't want to keep it all for yourself. And I think that's the way great brands are made, because there's a great unselfishness there. There's a generosity of spirit, which I commend you for. Seriously.
No, I know it's not normal, because even people don't even share their sources. Like people don't even share the people that they get supplies from, which I can understand, because the fashion industry in a large sense can be like that, where they don't tell you where they're getting certain pieces from, but like I want those people to make money also. So like obviously I can commission the man who is doing the things for me in his studio in Benin. I can commission him once a year. Like I can give him maybe 70,000 once a year, right, to make pieces for me. But if I tell other people, like if someone says, "Oh, where did you get them made?" Like maybe they don't want to buy from me directly because they can't afford it. They want to go and try. That way he makes more money. If he was to depend on my 70,000 a year, he would literally have to close down. So it's almost it's almost like when people hoard, I'm just like, it doesn't actually do anyone a service. So I'm totally that person, even though it might be a mistake. Some people will be like, no, you should not be this person. But I'm totally that person where I will share my sources. If someone says, where did you get this made? Even if it's something I am personally doing, I will share it with them, because, it's also not easy to commission people. I think Nigerians can also underestimate, how much, even if you have the money, the quality control alone, Nigerians can underestimate things like that. So if somebody is like, if it's another business and they're like, oh yes, I want to do my own hand fans, I will give them, and let's see. Like I would love to see how well you do. It's not necessarily like I will just get this. It's you have to be on it, even if it is waking up and calling someone 3 times a day until they pick up, harassing them. So I definitely share my sources. I'm not someone who is like, oh, it's not that I don't want people to know what I do, because I have learned in a very large sense from a community of people who post tutorials on their blogs and on YouTube. So how can I then also be like hoarding my own skills? Because I didn't learn, even if I am someone who can deconstruct things when I see them, and I also learn a lot from trial and error. I've also learned from a lot of people who are just sharing their skills for free. So I definitely don't come from that mindset of, hiding things.
You do get a lot of free things.
Yeah.
Okay. We have just a few minutes left. So I do have some other questions, but I'd rather you show some of the things you have. Yes.
Is there anything? Okay, I'll show you the bag first because I feel like you were interested in that. It is quite small. The measurements are 9 by 7.
Okay.
This is a backpack. This is hand embroidered. Let me see if I can bring it closer.
Okay.
The angle is slightly off. Yeah, this is hand
Okay,
embroidered.
I can see the panther. Yeah.
Yeah, that's our logo.
Yeah.
And then it has ropes in the back. The backpack.
Okay. Okay.
Then
yeah,
they're the visor.
Yeah.
They're the visor crowns. Let me show a couple of them. They're the visor crowns. I don't know if, okay, am I doing that properly?
Okay.
Yeah.
Rebel ruler. Okay.
Yeah. The ruler is very much. There's one that said chief, but it's sold out now.
Okay.
So you can wear it like this.
Ah.
So it's like a crown, right? There's the crown mode, and then there's like visor mode, which is like the usual, to keep the sun out.
Oh, that's so versatile. Yeah.
And the writing stays the same, so you can see it either way. You're able to read it either way.
Put as the visor again. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, really you can read it. That was that was very intentional. Then there are the bags which you have been seeing with the mirror pictures.
Oh yeah, the beaded like the bags. Yes.
These bags.
Yes.
Which are all on social media. And then you asked about this necklace as well.
Yeah,
these necklaces,
the wrap,
a couple of them. The wrap necklace. Yeah. Oh, and these are the bracelets. So I was telling you about how they have like accompanying bracelets. They come in like 14 different colors. Actually, I think there are 16 different colors now. Okay. But yeah, the idea is that you're able to buy them and stack them. And because they're monochrome, you can mix them. So these colors all go together. They're blues, they're blacks. So yeah. Oh, let me show you.
And then I want to see that necklace that you. Okay, those are the chokers. Okay.
Yes, you can see the beading there.
Yes. Yeah. And the necklace you showed us today, you showed me before we came online.
Yeah, this is it's a prototype.
Yeah.
So this is the periwinkle.
Yes.
Brass piece. It's hollow, and so it could possibly be earrings, or it could be this necklace, which is just like a pearl necklace like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm testing out designs. That's one of the newer things that's not on sale yet.
Okay, you've gotten a sales inquiry there from my cousin.
You can buy them through you can buy them through the Instagram. I'm working on a website, so there's a website coming. I used to sell through Etsy, but like I'm sort of leaving that behind. And then these are some of the really popular bags. There are only like a couple left.
Okay.
Yeah, the beaded bag. I don't know if you can see the pattern. It's supposed to be like waves. So this was inspired by water.
Yeah.
Which is very much.
I can see that.
So
yeah.
So there are a couple of them. Then
that's a very girly bag.
It is very girly. And then this one as well. Yeah. So there's a couple. There's some more bags that I've worked on. Let me show you the silver one. There's the pouch.
Oh, that is so now.
It has 6 pockets on the inside. Like it doesn't look it, but it's actually quite big
6 pockets
on the inside. So yeah, and then of course there are the hand fans and a couple more pieces, but yeah. Everything is on the Instagram.
You know, I think I love the fans. I need to get a couple and then throw away those my diva fans.
There are a couple of the fans left. A couple colors. So we're sold out in the yellow, but there's the white and the pink. Let me show you.
I don't like any of those colors. Unless it's a dark, a rich pink.
Unfortunately, okay, well, let's see.
Okay.
Let's see what you think of them.
Okay, that's not bad, but the whites, no.
Yeah. The whites, no?
Nah.
Okay, so there's the pink. There are a couple
The
of
pink,
them left.
Yeah. Or I'll take your yellow.
No. People have tried to take my yellow from me so many times. I always tell them I need to keep it for color reference. For next time. Yes. Okay. That's my excuse. It's not really good, but like that's the excuse and I'm sticking with it.
I'm gonna get my sisters to come look for you.
So yeah, those are. I mean, so we have these
things. This is.
So I was just gonna show one last thing. We have these hair clips, and they are Scrabble tiles.
Lion, okay.
And then there's an Efik one as well. There are a couple of them. Literally. So you can mix them together and spell things out just like in actual Scrabble.
Scrabble.
Yeah.
Wow, you're a real transformer.
That's a that's a bit of a geeky moment for me. I really enjoyed making those.
Well, luckily I don't have I can run fast. So that's really pretty. I'm thinking about where I can keep them. I could use them, but not as no, obviously not as head clips. But yeah, I could use them. Yeah. So I'd like to know, and I think everybody would like to know, what's the one thing you wish you had known before you started out?
One thing. Oh God! Wow. I actually cannot think. Perhaps what's the one thing? I can't think. I actually can't think of anything.
Okay.
I know that sounds completely ridiculous.
No, you said you jumped into it with both feet first. So
yeah. What's the one?
Okay.
Well, I actually can't think of anything. I mean, I have general advice, but like, I did a lot of. I guess I did a lot of reading, and also maybe because I didn't take it too seriously in the beginning, so I didn't have a lot of lofty goals to then be disappointed by. But I would say one thing is Nigerians. I mean, obviously my background, a lot of where I learned how to buy and sell and things I was interested in was not in Nigeria. So by the time I came to Nigeria and I was selling things to people, Nigerians, I don't think there's any like proper analysis for the Nigerian market. Like every piece of advice you read online will not apply. I could just say that, you know, like, because when I started the business, I was reading a lot of things about brands that are like in the US and the UK, because that's lots of the information that's out there. I would say that it will not apply to Nigerians. Nigerians can be funny about everything. You know, like if you make a bag that you think is okay and it doesn't have a zip, Nigerians won't buy it until it has a zip. You know, there's just so many things that, you know, me personally, I wouldn't mind.
Peculiar about us.
Yes, that, you know, Nigerians will buy something from you that's 1,000 naira and ask you if it fades, and be disappointed when they hear that it will fade. You know, like they're just so I think you know, serious Nigerians are so adamant and confident, you know, and lots of times they will treat you like you are there for them, not that you're a brand. You're not like you are there to make whatever they tell you, you know, to make, you know, you're there for any inquiry, you know, they will call you at all times of the day, you know. I mean, obviously, even doing business on WhatsApp is a very Nigerian thing. I mean, everybody's doing it now, but like genuinely, I believe that thing's starting in Nigeria because Nigerians are just so, yes, Nigerians are, okay, I have it. The thing I wish someone had told me is that Nigerians are very informal, and whatever structure you are coming from does not apply. Like, you know, I was looking at other businesses, I was looking at myself as a brand. Even when I would talk about on the Instagram, I would say we, our. Meanwhile, it was just me and mine. And so I was very detached. But no, Nigerians don't do business like that. Like, they like to know you. They like to know your name. They like to have your number. They like to be able to message you whenever. They also like to be able to tell you things to do for them. Like when they are a customer abroad would ask you if you do custom things. Nigerians already assume that you do. You know, so and Nigerians are picky are very picky. You have to justify everything you do. You know, like if you are selling something to them that does not fade, and even though they like the price point, they expect it to not fade. You know, so Nigerians are very informal, very picky. Like it is a lesson in patience. It is like you have to be very patient to deal with Nigerians. Yes. Yeah, that's the one thing that I would say I was not ready for. I really thought that I would be able to put things in a shop and say go there and buy. But no, Nigerians want to direct message you. You know, that's very much what they're trying to do. They're trying to have your number, you know. So yeah, you can't be a detached brand, you know. And
but I think there's a certain demographic that would go for what you do, what you're talking about, because
definitely,
they
but I
are
think
used to it. There is a certain
but
demographic.
I think
Yeah,
even
yeah.
the more, you know, like the more high end, you know, like obviously if you're in Calabar and you're sitting down and you're stocking in Lagos, then there's a distance you have, right? But the more
Yeah.
high end customers you get, by high end I mean the more customers you get that are willing to spend more money, the less
Mm-hmm.
distance you can actually keep in Nigeria, because then those are the people, you know, who want to be able to come to you directly, you know, and lots of times they have an idea, they have something in mind, and it's not necessarily what you're doing, but they feel like you can do it, and so they come to you, you know, that kind of thing. So like the more your brand grows and the more exposure you get, the less distance you can actually keep. And it's something I'm learning. It's not necessarily a good thing, you know, to be a small business and to not want to
I
necessarily
think they're
associate yourself
chancing
with
you.
it.
Like seriously, I think they're chancing you. That's what I think. Yeah,
No, but
I
like
think I think they're chancing you.
no,
Yeah.
it's a general thing, because even some I have a cousin who started a similar business when after I started, like a couple of years after I started, right? And she would tell me about conversations where she had to justify her price to people, like she was fully breaking down her price, and these were not like her mother's friends or anything like that. These were like fellow students in university. So Nigerians definitely have a, you know, especially the younger, you know, because I guess it's also a culture that's been cultivated with online media, social media. Like, you know, lots of people won't put their price and they'll say DM for price. So I think the market
Yeah.
is now used to this contacting directly for, you know, me, I put my prices in on the page because I don't even want anyone to, I don't want to have a back and forth with
To
someone and
DM
then they
you.
leave me because
Exactly.
they couldn't even,
Yeah.
you know, but we're very much in a DM for price culture. So yeah, I think that has encouraged this, you know, the person. You know the person personally.
You,
Oh, someone says
you
the
got a lot
Instagram
of
page is
fans.
lovely. Thank
Yeah, you
you.
got a lot of fans here. Yeah, you got a lot of fans. Got a lot of fans. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, you know, my desire, and this is not it's not my business, so I can't say anything more.
Mm-hmm.
But my desire is that you would keep this your vision of catalyzing the other people to do more and keep that Efik culture, any other culture, because anything that is yours, indigenous to you, that can only be the takeoff point. You can only transform it, make it how do I call it? Make it a bit more contemporary, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
the way we used to do beaded shoes is not quite the way we do it now. We do it a different way, but that tradition stays on. I know there are many things. I mean, this is something that I am super passionate about because my mom was super passionate about it, and I don't think there's anywhere in my house that doesn't have something Efik in it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there's always something about the Efik people in it. You know, so I just
Yeah.
like to commend you. Yeah, and
Thank
tell
you.
you
I mean, I
keep
really
it going. Yeah.
that is the goal. I do want to push our local artists, because even the choker, like I don't think it occurred. I remember when I went to them with the choker, they're like, "Oh, this might be too small." It didn't even occur to them to do stuff like that, and I'm just like, I just want to push that, you know, because some things might not be as in fashion, like, oh, the beaded shoes, it's very much an occasion thing now, but like there's so many
Yeah.
other things you can bead codes, because these are the things that people do elsewhere and call couture, and they charge
Exactly.
thousands, you know. So
Thousands
I
dollars. Yeah.
definitely, yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't think that there's anything special, like there's no unique technique that they're doing, they're just putting in the man hours. So like I think it's the same thing, like if someone wanted to be a fashion designer and utilized Efik beaders to just do massive embellished things, I think that's a thing too.
Oh, that would be. I can just see a dress with massive embellishments.
Exactly,
you
know.
I mean,
at the moment,
coming out
because like I said,
you know?
my mom is in fashion, and at the moment, lots of people in clothing will get beaders from other West African countries, you know, Absolutely. To do there, because it's bigger there and they have a bigger culture of apprenticeship. So they pass on their cultures a lot better than we do here, right? And I'm just like, but we have Efik people who do extensive beading, right? And it's the same thing. You could hire, and we'd probably even be cheaper, unfortunately to say. We would probably even be cheaper, and you'd be supporting local businesses, you know? So, oh, there's one last thing I want to show you. It's something I was working on.
Do. Okay.
It's a bag. I don't know if you can see. Okay. It's a calabash on the bottom, and then it's a calabash on the bottom, and then wrapped all the way to the top. It's something I'm working on, but like I'm hoping to hire. I'm hoping to hire people that do traditional baskets to help me do them, because this is very time consuming and I don't have the generational skill to be fast. So this took me like 4 days, where it would take someone a much shorter time. But that's something I'm working on as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, thank you, our transformer, for today. You have really made it easy for me to feel back. I feel like going back home, you know. But I feel at home. I feel I'm really at home. Guys, it's been a great time with Amayo Duke II of Southern Panther. You know. So please like her page at Southern Panther on IG,
on Instagram.
Are you also on
Facebook?
No,
we're only on Instagram. We're also on Pinterest. We're not on Facebook at the moment, but there will also be a website. But at the moment, if you want to order, you can DM me to order. That's where we're at the moment.
We'll DM you to order. No, Asari, she's going to give me that bag. Asari, no, she's going to give me that bag. Forget about it. And please also follow Julia Jacks Consulting on Facebook, Instagram, and what else are we on? I have a madam here who's telling me, like, don't forget, tell them to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Julia Jacks Consulting. Everything is Julia Jacks Consulting, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And this interview is going to be up in about a bit later today. So it's been great. So virtual hugs. Thank you very much, Amayo.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Thank you. So let's see. Yeah, you don't want it to grow, but I believe it's going to grow. We don't mind if it doesn't grow. No,
we don't mind, but we would like it.
No, we are making money. Have you not heard about 30 billion in their accounts? That's where we are heading. Thank you. Thank you, everybody who joined in. Thank you, all my lovely family members, and Asari, who is my new family member. Thank you, Tendai from Zimbabwe. Thank you, Mayan, my cousin of life from London. Thank you, Zenzi from London. Thank you, Essene from London. Joan, thank you, everybody. Joan loves the Scrabble hairpins, and she has two beautiful little girls. So maybe they have to go to her.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony.
I'm going to take my pictures of those. So yeah.
Thank you, Lara. Thank you, Ima, Basi, and everybody else I can't see here. Jerry, did I thank you already? I better thank Jerry twice.
Yes,
thank you.
Yes,
I better thank her.
Thank you, Jerry. She's the reason that this whole thing happened. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming in. Without you, there really wouldn't be an Unplugged. Thank you. Thank you. Take care, and see you next week when we bring the Transformer series to an end. Bye.
Bye.